So questions since last time, anything to go over practice-wise, routine, strategy, micro, macro, the whole nine yards?
I want to ask about flow state and like how to better tap into that
Sure.
consistently.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So talk to me what you know so far and what your journey through that has been.
I know that when you're like really focused and like being challenged and like a
Mm-hmm.
crossroads, you
Sure.
can like be in flow state, you're focused, you can just read everything perfectly, and it's good. It definitely helps your gameplay, but
Yeah.
I wanna like activate it more often.
Sure. I understand. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to know better how to do. So basically, so what flow state is it is less a it is equal situation state as it is mind state. Let me kind of give you an example. Um, when you are tilted, okay, frustrated. When's the last time you've been tilted or frustrated?
Yesterday.
Okay, what happened?
Just bad aim, but I got over it instantly. Just like
Okay, so what happened? So you're saying bad aim or what?
yeah,
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
aim.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Did you consciously choose to have bad aim that day?
no.
No, it just happened, right?
Yeah.
So what you did then is you recognized it was a bad state and you got out of it. How? What'd you do?
Focus more on movement and better crosshair placement.
Can you control those factors?
I can.
Can that be something that can increase the chances of fixing the aim problem?
Yes.
But are there days when you focus on it and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Okay. What you kind of described is what flow state is, where flow state is more of an equal part mind state, equal part environment state. You did not choose to have bad aim, it just happened. And so what you did is you recognized that, oh, this state is not desirable. And so therefore, I'm going to try to change the things that I can control around that state in the hopes that it helps my mindset to be improved. Does that make sense? So let's flip that. Let's say you're looking to go into flow state. What environmental factors do you need to be in flow state more often? Well, no distractions, right?
Yeah.
An equal level of challenge to skill, right? So, I mean, you know this if you know anything about flow states. Like flow state
Yeah.
happens when you are equally challenged. So, anything that you can do to be focused, well rested, enjoying what you're doing. In other words, you're invested and interested in what you're doing. It's not boring to you, and you're at an
Yeah.
equal challenge rate. Those are all things that are environmentally good to create the situation, right?
Yeah.
However, sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Hmm.
So when you ask, okay, well, then what can I control to make it happen more often? Well, when we talk about the environment, sometimes you can't happen. Sometimes the matchmaker puts you in an unlucky match, or you have a Junkrat OTP and
Oh
wants to
yeah.
manage your ball right? So like it just happens, right? So that's not your fault. You cannot control that, right? So you cannot control having bad aim. You cannot control being in an unchallenging or over-challenging environment. However, what you can do is think about that mechanical side of things, right? What did you do to change your situation, to improve your situation? You focused on something that you could control and allow that to guide you into a state of not being tilted anymore. Because if you think about it, why did you work on your aim? It wasn't just to work on your aim, it was so that you wouldn't be tilted anymore, correct?
Uh, Yeah, I guess that makes
So,
sense.
so when you talk about flow state, what can I do to get into flow state? Well, ask what are the situations that I can do to make me more focused? That's the question that you're asking. Whether that's going to result in flow state
Focus.
or not, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because flow state isn't an on or an off switch. It's a gradient.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
it doesn't matter how good your mental is, you will never be fully, completely, 100% focused. But the best players that I have worked with are generally more 60% focused, 70% focused rather than 30, 40. So for you, when you're asking how do I get into flow state more, ask how can I keep myself focused for longer and for better? And that's all that you need to worry about. Flow state is not magical. There are moments when you are playing strictly off of autopilot and just playing and making decisions perfectly. But the reason that you are doing that is not strictly because you are in some magical, you did a magical mystery drug, right? The
Yeah.
reason why that happens is because that situation is familiar and challenging to you. So it's just challenging enough to where you can do it competently without sweating it out, but it's familiar enough to where you can do the steps a million times. So when people talk about flow state, often what they're describing is a challenging state that is familiar. It's not something that you can control. So think about a situation like, would you ever be in flow state playing Vendetta tomorrow? Not likely.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not familiar with Vendetta. Now, how often could you be flow state on a support hero you know very well, in a situation that you know very well, but when the opposition is really good? Wow, that sounds like a really good flow state ingredient list, right?
Yeah, it does.
It's challenging, but it's something that's familiar. That's flow state. So you shouldn't pursue flow state for the sake of flow state. You should pursue focus so that either A, you're in flow state performing well because it's familiar, or B, you're not in flow state because it's unfamiliar, but you're learning because you're focused. In fact, a lot of the times when we do live coaching, I'm pulling you out of flow state. Why? Because I'm making you think and solve and strategize. And I'm not saying that thinking isn't absent in flow state, but it's generally just very quick, snappy, instinctual. It's not cognitive and slow. It's okay. We don't want flow state in practice most of the time. We want flow state when we're performing, and you will find yourself accidentally in flow state a lot of the time. But don't pursue it.
Pursue focus. Got it.
Pursue focus, right? Focus is the ingredient in both high level performance and high level practice. That's the key thing. Now, if you would like to pursue flow state in a certain percentage of games, like let's say you have a rank up game, I need to be in flow state. So you know what you do? You focus on performing the best that you possibly can, but you autopilot every decision. That is a skill worth pursuing. But you're not actively practicing anything. You're just playing and playing for fun. That's it. Just doing the best that you can. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Pursue focus. It will lead to better performance and better practice, but don't worry about flow state because a lot of that is environmental, basically.
Got it.
The most focused people I know are just more likely to enter flow state. And again, remember, flow state is not a binary on-off switch.
Yeah.
It happens,
Cool.
doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens a little bit. Sometimes it happens a lot. Usually it happens a lot when you're challenged doing something that you know. Okay. Good question. Complicated question, but relatively simple answer, I guess.
Yeah.
What to do? Well, you just keep practicing focused and don't over pursue it.
Sounds great.
Any other questions?
When do I mirror and when do I strafe in like a 1v1? Because I've gotten mixed answers and it's just it's hard.
Sure. So I will say one little detail is that I think movement is not over, it's overrated. It just is. It's important in certain situations, but those situations are niche when you are working into a strict 1v1 where you don't have any immediate cover nearby. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen frequently, but it is something that you don't want to overly fixate on unless it's something little detail that you're working on in certain situations, right? So just don't worry too much about it. However, if you want the answer so that you can practice it, the simple answer is you mirror when your aim is more important than theirs. So if you hit all your shots and they hit all their shots, you win. You strafe when you need to avoid their shots and they and in order to win the duel. So I wanted to ask you a question. If the target hits every single one of their shots, who wins, Cassidy or Tracer?
Yes.
Cass, always, right? Who wins, Cassidy or Widow?
Widow.
Who wins, Tracer or Soldier?
That
Tricky,
depends.
right? Depends.
Yeah.
But probably Soldier, at least, right? Probably Soldier by a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Reaper versus Cassidy close range?
Depends. Does he have flashbang? Did he get the
Right, but
shot in?
close range, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be
Reaper.
Reaper. Basically 1 or 2 shot, essentially.
Yeah.
So do you see what I'm saying here? So what about a cast mirror? Well, that's when it really depends, right? If we're equal resources, equal HP, it doesn't matter what you do. Depends on what you're more confident in your aim or your movement. For me, it's always been my movement, right? Because that's something that I used to actively train a lot, and my mechanics have fallen off, but I can still spam crouch and 80-80 strafe like a drunk baboon. So if I go versus somebody better than me, mechanics-wise, I'm going to strafe like crazy, miss half of my shots, but I have a better chance of winning that way than trying to mirror their movement.
Okay, cool.
Zenyatta versus Tracer. That was one of the big things that I used to have to practice. I've kind of fallen off, but back in the day, Zen versus Tracer, you needed to be not necessarily mirror their movement specifically, but you needed to be very controlled and smooth with your aim and not jerky, because 80-80 strafing did not screw up Tracer, but it screwed you up. So the answer
Yeah,
with mirror versus strafing is always, when is it more important for me to hit my shots, and when is it more important for them to miss theirs? Make sense?
cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that way you can kind of cut the crap, just get to the real life actionable answers. So if you're in a duel, you're like, I have an advantage. Well, doesn't matter then. But if you look at the matchup and you're playing Kiriko versus Zenyatta, I mean, that just might be where you might just want to hit your shots or mirror strafing. Oh, actually, that's another interesting one. So Zenyatta versus Kiriko, maybe you strafe because you have an advantage in the hitbox. And so you can abuse that,
Oh,
he can't. So if you mirror Zen, you make it easier for him to hit his shots. And if you strafe, yeah, you'll miss your shots, but he'll miss his, and it's way, way, way better to leverage your movement for Kiriko than for Zen.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's just, the answer is difficult to come up with in the moment because you have to think quickly, but the answer is very, very obvious, usually once you think about it for 2 seconds.
I thought Overwatch was more about movement aim than just like raw mechanical aim.
It can be, sure, but I don't think it really matters, movement or mechanical aim, right? I mean, the problem with like um, a lot of like the aim coaches and like the aim theory stuff is that there's definitely like truth in it, but a lot of what's done in that regard often comes naturally with just repetition. And also, a lot of people that put too much emphasis into those things miss the forest for the trees, right? Um, so what I would encourage you to do is to focus on thinking, if you want to work on your movement, do what I just told you right there. It doesn't mean you don't need to sit there and drill and theory and VOD review. You just need to go into every duel and decide what matters more, your strafing or your shots in
Yeah,
every
yeah,
duel.
that sounds good.
And then if you practice making that decision, and I leave what does good movement look like to you up in the air. You figure it out. Crouch spam, 80-80 strafe, like long strafe versus short strafe. Again, that's probably something that if you thought about each duel, you could probably come up with, right? Who else do you play
Yeah.
besides Kiriko?
Ana,
Okay. When does Ana want to spam strafing?
when there's a slower rate of fire on
Right.
her.
So who is that?
Um,
Give me a duel where Ana wants to focus on strafing.
Ash,
Ash. Right. Who else?
Cass.
Cass. How would you strafe versus those targets?
Um,
Erratically, long strafes, short strafes, 80-80 spam.
uh, Long strafes mixed with short strafes.
Why would you mix in short strafe versus those characters?
Uh, to mess with their aim because they don't predict it.
Right, because they're burst heroes, right? So it's very important that you miss that burst, right? If you were to be very long, slow, and predictable, then you would get shot,
Yeah.
right? So long, slow, and predictable is a lot more attractive when you have a lower time to kill than the target that you're going for. Does that make sense? Like that Tracer example we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
right? Where spamming 80-80 doesn't make any sense, not just due to the tracking nature for a weapon, but also because of the time to kill. But spamming crouch, juking Ash Widow Hanzo, yeah, Cass, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. When should you slow your movement? Is there any point in time in a duel with Ana where your movement should be mirrored or slowed?
When you sleep
Why?
to make the shot easier to hit.
Correct, because it's a one shot, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
we're thinking about it as, right? It matters a lot. So that for that one shot, you become a Widowmaker. And so your movement mirroring, smooth control strafing, or even sometimes standing still becomes more important. You see
Yeah.
that?
I do.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Does Ana's state change when she gets the headshot perk? Right?
Oh yeah.
Right? So now all of a sudden we're live time evaluating our time to kill. Now, that's what I want you to worry about when we're talking about like mechanic versus movement-based aim. When people describe the difference between movement-based aim and mechanic-based aim, what movement-based aim is it's allowing your movement to make the shots easier to hit most of the time. Now, I know some people will say you can use your 80 keys to move your crosshair instead of your mouse. And there are situations where that can be good, but most of the time I encourage people actively not to do that. I've seen videos on that. Those people don't know what they're talking about, and that's a really bad habit you need to avoid. However, if people are talking about using your movement to make aim easier, right, like mirroring or standing still on shots or crosshair, just anything that involves making your aim easier, that's good advice, but that's kind of where we go back to what we talked about earlier, which is like, okay, when do you need to focus on your movement and when do you need to focus on your just moving with your mouse? Depends on the matchup.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Depends on the matchup. The reason why I don't encourage people, just really quickly, to use their movement to move their crosshair is because that is something you want your movement decision to be something strictly different, separate from your hand. Let me give you an example. If you have to use your AD key to line up your crosshair on a target, do you see how that restricts the type of strafing and movement that you can do depending on the duel?
Yes.
So if let me just demonstrate this because this is really important. Because I remember there's a video I saw on YouTube and it just was really it was really bad information.
I think I know what you're talking about.
There's some other aim coaches out there that could probably explain it better than I could. But basically the idea is that, like, this might be a better example here. If this is a Cassidy, I don't want to do this. Okay. Wait, that's weird. It says stream is paused even though I did it. Can you see it now? Click around.
Still paused.
Still paused?
Yeah.
Bizarre. Hang on 1 second.
Technology always being janky.
It says stream Overwatch. Weird. Hang on, let me see if I can try this. It says you're in it immediately, so try clicking on top of Discord call. So,
like,
see if you can. Let me see if I can try full screen. I don't know. Anything? So you can. Are you in this? You are in the stream though. You can.
Yeah, I'm in the stream. Yeah.
Weird. Okay, well let me do I guess display capture then. Give me a second then. Here, no,
oh, there we go.
One. That is my calendar. I want to stream my screen. You would see your form there. All right, try this.
Yeah, I can see.
That's so weird. I've literally never had this happen before. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, but yeah, let's say that this is a Cassidy, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to be reliant off of moving myself to the crosshair. Because then that means, what if I don't want to move like that versus that target? What if I want to do this? Well, then I need to rely off of my right hand aim so that my left hand can strictly do whatever I want with juking the shots. You see what I'm saying? And so you need to be really careful about anything like you said that video about, like, that says read. I've even saw one where they said just like let the enemy team move into your crosshair, which, by the way, that's actually a really good tip in like widow duels and stuff like that, or spamming 80/80 tracers. But that is not something you do until you see that their movement is just doing this, right? That's much more a reactive kind of a situational thing. You never rely off of them strafing into your crosshair, because what if they don't?
You're just
like, what if they don't, right? Then you're just sitting there waiting for them to do a movement that they won't do, right? It's why sometimes they call it the EU strafe. I pull it up sometimes where I'll do this, and then I'll just go for like 1 second, and it always throws people off, right? Because they're predicting that. But yeah, long story short, basically, you want your crosshair and you want your movement to be tied together but separate. So in other words, your right hand knows what your left hand's going to do, but you never rely off of this to aim, because otherwise you're caught in a predictable loop, or you're relying off of them doing something. What if I need to strafe versus that target? Then doing this strafe thing is really bad, right? I need to be able to let those things be split. Make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Okay, great questions. Any other questions?
Identifying targets off that are far away in the background. Like, my eyes can't really catch them too well.
Sure. Man, that might just be an eyesight thing. I'm trying to think here. Maybe there's some settings here about like border outline or using ping, like as in your ping option to identify what it is. Could be a graphical setting. Are you running 144 frames?
240.
240, so you're probably fine. Man, I really don't know. Maybe the size of the monitor. Like, you don't want to get too big to where you have to use too much of your lateral vision. I honestly don't know. That might just be an ocular thing. I'm not honestly too sure. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying sometimes. Like, it could be things can get really cluttered. But to be honest, if something is like super, super far away, being able to perceive that target really only matters if that target's actually a threat to you, which there's only a couple of characters where that's the case.
Widowmaker.
Yeah, we knew it. Yeah, we knew it.
Cool.
Might also be a positional thing too. If you're angling,
Oh.
generally clarifies your field of vision usually. So, I mean, that's not saying that you're not angling all the time, but
Yeah.
it is something to keep in mind that like if you ever watch like low mid rank play, or people that are more stuck in the middle, it's just inherently always more cluttered, more chaotic.
Yeah, that's true.
Any other questions?
Nope, that's all the ones I had written down.
Okay, well, we will do more screen sharing, I guess, and we'll look at the replay code if you got one, or we can do live coaching or whatever you'd like here.
Oh, I gotta see if I have the code.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Got it. Now, why this particular code?
Because I really struggled in that game.
All right. Stream paused, I assume, still?
Yeah. Well, it's not paused, it's just gray.
That's so weird. Okay, well, we will go back to what we were doing earlier. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Alrighty. Let's jump in here. Now, who are you here? Oh, never mind. You're on DPS. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this completely pivots here. Okay, so you said you're masters in DPS. Why are we looking at DPS?
Because I'm trying to get that to GM.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Is this Venture all the way through?
Reaper.
Reaper,
I think,
Venture.
mostly. That guy's.
Reaper.
think I
Mostly
swapped
just
off
Reaper?
Venture for
Yeah,
Fast.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, okay. Any questions with DPS? I mean, we talked a lot about a lot of different things, but
Well, DPS feels a lot of the time who has the better aim.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's deeper than that, but like.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So, no other questions specifically with Reaper? Like, what's your hero pool with the DPS looking like?
Usually hit scan, and I can just flex to like a Reaper or Sombra if like I
Sure.
really need more like damage pressure or backline pressure.
Sure. What are your goals with DPS? To reach GM?
To further improve myself mechanically for support and understanding off angles and timing better.
Okay. I will say if support's your primary role, I would get to GM on DPS just for fun. But if you're looking for mechanical training, you just need to play support more deliberately, right? We kind of talked about it earlier, like movement versus mechanics. But I don't know if we talked in our first session about like how to practice mechanics. Did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay. You need to go into games and you just need to work on your aim. Like literally give it your full attention.
Oh yeah, no, I have. For
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, but to do that more. There's not as much benefit to practicing a more, let's say, mechanic reliant role rather than just playing the role that you're on. Like if you go into a game with Kiriko and you just work on your mechanics and angling, just angle mechanics, that's going to really, really, really push you mechanically more so than Reaper would. Not saying that Reaper isn't mechanically demanding, but it's not necessarily the exact same type of mechanics. It's not efficient with what you're aiming for. So I'm down for this side venture here for sure. No pun intended, but just keep in mind that this is not going to be the most efficient thing, and nor it's something that I would encourage. I actually just had a question from somebody in my DMs like, "Do pro players practice other roles to get their things better? The game sense of tank and aim with DPS? No. If they do, they do it for fun. You do it for fun. You want to get better at mechanics? You play Kiriko. You want to get better on mechanics? You play Ana. That's basically it. Now, it might help you to understand matchups better. Like, you get to know how Reaper's kit works and, like, how to beat him as Kiriko more often. So keep that in mind. But beyond that, I wouldn't encourage it.
Okay, cool.
Makes sense?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we can keep going here if you'd like to, because it's still fun to look at, and we can definitely talk about strategy and such. It's up to you.
Yeah, no, sure.
Okay, let's take a look here. So, last thing I'd say as well is, like, if you're really serious about reaching Grandmaster, just be careful about how many heroes that you swap to. Like, Reaper's was good in King's Row, so that's fine. But you want to avoid playing too many heroes at too much.
Yeah.
Same thing as support, right? Like, hit scan plus Reaper plus Venture. That's a lot of heroes.
Doesn't feel like a lot.
It's a lot. Everyone's got their own kit, right? You've been putting a lot of time in, so it works, but it's a lot.
Got it.
So let's actually take a moment here to look at the movement versus mechanics, just to kind of close that conversation off. So, what matters more, your movement or your mechanics right now?
Mechanics.
Mechanics, right? So in terms of your movement, how should you move?
I should honestly stand still. I'm not getting shot at.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, you might, because you don't know what the crossfire here is looking like, right? But yeah, let's just say the answer, just keep it simple, is we're either standing still, we're moving smoothly, or we're moving erratically. Those are the 3 gears that we're in. There's obviously nuance between that, but right now, you should probably move smoothly or stand still. I would say move smoothly without knowing what's on the side. Okay. What about now?
Erratically?
Erratically, or wraith. Why?
Because it's slow rate of fire, slow heavy damage.
But it's a mirror. You see, this is important because this introduces the last little bit of nuance into this discussion. You're absolutely. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna give you the answer. The answer is you need to move erratically. But there's a very important reason why that's the case, even though it is technically a mirror. Look at the situation. Don't look at Reaper versus Reaper. Look at the situation. What do you know about the situation right now?
I have my team with me.
Right. So what's the only thing that could go wrong with this fight right now?
I get 2 tapped.
You get 2 tapped, or even 1 tapped. Is that possible right now? Absolutely. Look at this resource trade right now. Like, I know it's very difficult to make that live time read, so we're not going to challenge you to do that. But if you ever have time to think about it, you're behind right now. You're losing this duel, right?
I am, yeah.
So you cannot die here, basically. It doesn't matter if you die here, not really, but this is an important context where if you have a massive advantage in a duel, you're actually often more encouraged to play it safely. If the fight is won, let's put it that way, because there's no point taking a gamble and trying to one-shot this guy. He has everything to gain and nothing to lose. You do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So here, it's a good shot. It's fine. But if you had played like a coward there and been a little bit more erratic and just been kind of baity there, that would have been the better strategic decision. Because nothing happens in a vacuum. Keep that in mind. Make sense?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Okay, let's keep going. And this is fine, just the pressure here, but at some point you're going to want to back off and once you see your Zarya and set up your next angle with where this fight's going to happen.
Got it.
And that's what we do right there. Perfect. Okay. This is where you're going to need patience because when you peek this lane here, you know that this backline's out of the fight, but you know that you're also too far away. So just immediately duck back in. Yep. Sure. Sure. It's fine. I would just stage. This is just a situation where you need to be a bit more decisive, even if that decisiveness means inaction right now. Like, right now, what should you be doing or what should you not be doing?
Giving away my position.
Right, so just either reposition or wait, one or the other. So just have a little bit more confidence. Like with Reaper sometimes, and this is the case with all flankers, right? Reaper, Venture. Sometimes you just look at the situation and go, like, I shouldn't really be doing anything. And that's fine.
Okay, cool. Makes sense.
And you can even make that argument here, where what should we be doing instead of what we're doing right now?
Staging where I was on high and
Sure.
jumping on grab.
Right, going behind them. Now you're like, yeah, but they're grab. Yeah, but you're not really doing much in this grab. So it's better to take a full second, half a second of doing nothing to go here or here, and then guarantee the follow-up than it is to do nothing but to do something immediately, right? Just something to consider. There's just a bit of urgency here that isn't necessarily needed. A little bit of the same thing here too, right? Just take the time, right? Like, what could you do while you're waiting here?
Better stage to the left. And wait
Yeah,
for
just
my
walk to the left, check for a second, listen, okay, and then you could go for the teleport here and then go from this angle here instead, right? Because by the time that would happen, 3, 2, 1, you would be here, right here at this point in time, right? That would be the perfect time for you to go. So it's just basically using your downtime to improve your uptime. This is something that is really important for all dive characters, but especially ones that are very cyclical. Winston, Sombra, Reaper, and so on. Make sense?
Yeah.
A lot of times your angles change rapidly depending on how the fight evolves, and so you have to be willing to use that downtime to improve your uptime. And the same thing happens here, right? Where if like you are thinking about Death Blossom and everybody knows it, right? And you're even getting bubble, but this Death Blossom is not likely to work. Why?
Because they have all their cooldowns. I'm trying to grade this.
Sure. So let's start from a standpoint of fundamentals. Are you positioned or staged well for this Death Blossom? Or engaged?
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest, right? You're running down directly where, I don't even need to know. Like, you should just been here, right? You should have been here. This entire fight would have gone better with or without bubble. If you had died there, you would have caused a lot of chaos and probably won the fight. There's going to be very little chaos from this. You're going to be very predictable, and you're going to die, right? And it's a shock. I can't believe you lived as long as you did, to be honest. Like, I'm shocked. But go ahead. Finish your thought.
I felt pressure to ult because I was bubbled. Like, I wanted to do something.
Right, but I want to highlight the reason why you were bubbled, the reason why you were demanding resources is because of this. So the mistake wasn't here. I think you trying here is fine. It's fine. The mistake was what led your Zarya to believe that this was necessary for a bubble, which then ironically snowballed into you feeling pressure to ultimate. So the mistake was now. You get it? This is the mistake right here. Because this is the moment where you needed to go in a different direction, quite literally, whether it was here or whatever else, and you chose not to. Make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
So it's constantly, I think this is by far the most challenging aspect of Reaper. He's a very simple character, but it's you reposition and reevaluate your angles more so than almost any character in Overwatch. It's like up there with like Wrecking Ball, Doomfist, Sombra. Those kind of characters. Very rapid with the repositioning. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
It's like, where's the next angle? Where's the next angle? Where's the next angle? Right? So this is good, right? This is a good angle right now. Good. Clear out that Doomfist. Nice job. But then obviously the situation changes and you go, oh, this isn't good anymore. Now what do I do? Well, that's really challenging, isn't it? So this doesn't work. Why?
Well, I was like, we were in VC. He told me to TP up there and he bubbled me.
Sure, but even if you got bubble, it doesn't work. Why?
Because y'all know I'm there.
Where do you go after this?
Wraith out.
Yeah, right? There's nowhere to go. You just leave, and then we've not really improved our positioning at all. So what I think, let's give you some time to think this one through. Where do you go now?
I should rotate out of this angle because they know I'm here.
Yeah, just well, not because you know that they know that you're there, because we've already seen that here, and it still worked. The problem is that there's nowhere to go. There's no short range off angle anymore for you. It's gone. This area of the map is, JFK would be sweating. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not going to work. Okay, so this isn't going to work. We need to find another angle entirely. And so where should you go from here? Well, I'm going to put you here, and you tell me where. So you're going to actually leave. You're going to walk to main before the fight starts, right? That's an important distinction. Now where?
Far left.
Yeah, it could go far left again. You could go top. It's kind of awkward. You could do what you did earlier and start here again, see what happens, right? But we got to find somewhere to go. This isn't it.
Yeah.
Zarya should complement what you're already doing anyway, not necessarily allow you to cheat the rules. Because if you're cheating the rules, it means that you're just basically doing what you would normally do with good staging in terms of value. But if you play the system honestly and then bubble on top of that, it's intolerable for the enemy team.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
It's not about cheating the rules because you have to play honest Overwatch and conservative. It's about saying that, like, I'm going to do both. I'm going to invest my money and I'm going to be born into a rich family, right? It's cheating, right? It's cheating. It's like, dude, how can I compete with that? Like, imagine, like, if you go here and you teleport here with a bubble, what are they going to do, right, when they're here? Like, what are they going to do? It's over. Like, there's so much resources that you're going to force.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You should play more aggressively with bubble. So just complement that. Like, imagine You're like, I want to fight for this space because I like this angle. Good. Teleport there with a bubble, right? That's fine. This is good space for you. Good space for him. Oh, and by the way, when you teleport here with a bubble, how do you move?
Erratically.
Are you sure?
No.
Think about it. Does your
'Cause I wanna
aim,
save
does your
bubble
movement,
resource.
does your movement matter when you teleport here with a bubble?
Not really.
Not at all, right? He's going to shoot the bubble.
Yeah.
So what should you do? You should stand still. Kill him. You see it?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes
Think about
sense.
it. Think about it. The reason why we wanted you to move erratically here is because not because you had team resources. It's because we didn't know if we had any help at all. And so the only way we could lose is just throwing our fight away. Now here, you have if you get bubble here, just stand still. Same thing here, right? If you get bubble. So you move very smoothly. You notice that? You almost move like a plat player for the first bit of bubble, right? Is that bad?
No.
No, it's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. The problem here is not the how you moved. The problem is what?
That I moved there.
That you went here, right? I don't hate this angle in a vacuum, but they're already there. Your team is nowhere nearby, and this you're only doing this because you have bubble. So you're like, oh, this is good, right? Well, maybe if you're thinking about creating space, but the problem with Reaper here, and this is really important, is not every bubble cycle like that is free. And you could feel it, right? Even with this Wraith perk, you're so slow. So you're like, oh, dude, if I mess this up, I'm going to die right here. And your Ana knows it. So just keep that in mind. Wraith does not allow you to cheat staging, especially since they nerfed the movement speed. So just keep that in mind. Make sense?
Yeah, complimenting, not cheating. Yeah,
Complimenting, not cheating. That's basically it, yeah. Man, it was good, though. But ultimately, you can kind of see it. Well, how did it work? Bubble. Bubble again. Graviton Surge. And Nano. And I have a sneaky suspicion that if we had used those ultimates or combos, those resources with a bit of staging, we might not have even needed half of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Where should you be, obviously? Yes. Now, this teleport is really awkward, but like, let's say that you did this one better from here and teleported here. How would you move, looking at what we're looking at right here?
I would move it all.
You wouldn't move it all, right. You wouldn't move it all. Wouldn't move it all. Correct. That's correct. And then, like, let's say you get an opening shot, and he's down to half HP. How do you move?
Mirror.
Mirror or smooth? Right, exactly. Just smooth, because he's not likely to one-shot you. So all you need to do is hit one more shot, and he's dead. So in that situation, yeah, don't move erratically. Don't gamble that you're going to roll 6 ones in a row, right? Just gamble that don't let him even have a chance of coming back. You can even let him hit a shot if he wants. He's allowed to hit a shot. It's fine.
Okay.
This is just needing more patience here. First off, the cart situation just doesn't make any sense for you to push here. But also, we're still fighting for space here. So you could just be patient here. And where's your next rotation if you do want to deepen?
Deepening the other height and...
This is much better. Much better architecture for you here. Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, again, JFK, right? So this is too much. It's not going to work. Now, it's not always, like, what if somebody's here? Or what if somebody's here? It's context, but this is too far. Even with dire triggers. And the classic Reaper example, you're going to die here. So, yeah. So it's like a consequence of timing partly, but also where's my next angle, and that right there is how you're not a Grandmaster Reaper player. That's why this character has skill floor, skill ceiling, right? That right there, your first TP, whatever, mechanics, whatever, but then you made a bad decision on the next decision, because it's not so easy to do that, right? It's easy for us to look at it in replay viewer.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020.
Yep, this is your angle. Good. Greedy. Very spooky. It's another one of those situations, right, where you're here. Like, let's say you got your Wraith forced to cross and kill the Reaper. So, like, let's say you didn't need to. Let's say you did need to Wraith here. Now what?
I have big advantage.
So then, what do you do?
I can play more aggressively because I have it
on this corner, right? Now you did use Wraith here. So now, what should you do at this point?
I shouldn't overcommit and just play my advantage.
Just hold the space, right? Hold the corner, back off to Mega, play cover. Don't do anything super aggressive because you just can't, right? Does that mean that you can't poke off of this? Yes, you can. But you should be poking from here or from here, right? You can't go to here because you're dead now. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because the idea is that, like, I need to push because of my EDRE ult. I understand 100%, but you don't have Wraith, so best case scenario there, you get the kill and then you die as a result, and that's not really something you want to be looking for consistently.
Yeah.
Can I get punished onto that Ashe without dying? I don't know. Now you could be like, well, I should have Wraith there. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you're gonna make mistakes with your Wraiths. Right? It's gonna happen. So it's more of a question of how do you deal with those errors? How do you deal with those mistakes? You need a system. Hold space. Don't push always. Okay, good staging here.
I just missed it barely.
Just a little indecisive here. Now, let me ask you a question right now. From a strategy perspective, this might help you with your Wraiths. Do you have everything to gain and nothing to lose? Or nothing to gain and everything to lose?
Nothing to gain, everything to lose.
Yeah, you're already up one here. Maybe you know the status of your Graviton Surge. I don't know. But yeah, there's no real reason for you to go for this kill. BAP 1 HP, Lamp forced, Doomfist disengaged. You're up one. You're good. Don't take any risks right now. Certainly not without your Wraith. So you're thinking, oh, I got Bubble, I should keep going. But even with Bubble and Heal Pocket, you're still very killable here. And if you get this BAP and then die for it, that gives them a chance of recontest, and that's what we have to avoid.
Yeah.
So it's at the same moving versus strafing question that we have, but it's phrased from a different perspective in terms of how you use your Wraith. How do I use my Wraith? Well, what do you have to gain? What do you have to lose? Right? That's the question.
Yeah.
I think you're sorry I missed the grav. Oh dear.
Did they? That's so funny. They're champion on the rolls.
Okay. I think Dire Triggers is probably the correct perk here, but I'm not sure. On this particular map, I think the other perk is the correct perk about 90% of the time, but with how wide open this second or third point is, it might be better to have Dire Triggers and a longer teleport, but I'm not sure. That's my general, like, kind of decision making with that perk though, by the way.
That makes sense.
It's fine. Yeah, there's just a lot of there's so little thought into what you do. So what's the next step here? What's the next step?
Just stage.
Stage. Now you're gonna get staging with Bubble. So where should that staging with Bubble go?
To the Juno on the right.
You could, but she might fly away. So where else could you go? You know what? I'm gonna make you go here in Death Blossom. You're gonna do it. You have to do it. Sorry. How do you do it? Because I'm gonna let you go with this aggression. Do it. But where should we go?
I'll TP to the right of the door and peek once I get Bubble.
Yeah, just go. That's just here. Just rip it and go. Like, you're gonna do the exact same thing, but you're teleport here now. Why is that better than what you're doing now?
Because it's on an angle, it diverts attention, and they're looking at me, not my team.
Correct. It diverts attention, it's on an angle, and it also spends less time in the traversal, which means you're less likely to have to Wraith.
Yeah.
You see, there's no element of surprise here. They know you're going to teleport here, and they're going to see you and react to you. But you don't care, because you need them to turn around, and you need to cover that distance quickly. That's it. So this is not about the element of surprise. The element of surprise is a nice bonus, but it doesn't always happen. It's not something we can guarantee on. But an angle isn't good because surprise. An angle is good because of so many other factors as well. And so this is maybe going to work. But ultimately, well, yeah. I mean, even the way that the Ashe boops is the direction she already wanted to go, right? She wanted to boop backwards. If she has to boop herself this way, you know, Houston is a problem, right? That would not have worked for her. You understand what I'm saying? That's just something you have to keep in mind. So what's happening is this Zarya is cheating your positional strategy badly, and it's causing you to get punished more frequently. Does that make sense?
That does, yeah.
Let's maybe skip ahead here and see if you swap off Zarya. Do you stay on Zarya the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to look at a different section of this map, or do you want to go to a different code? We got plenty of time for whatever you'd like.
Yeah, we can go to a different code.
Okay.
Sojourn code.
Sojourn. All right. Got it. Let's redo the screen share. Let me know if you can see that.
I can.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay. Sojourn, 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 Sojourn. Okay. Any questions with Reaper?
No, that's pretty good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Next step with your rotations. And then when you're thinking about Wraith, thinking about how much do I have to gain, how much do I have to lose, right? Does that mean you greeting your Wraith to get a trade is always bad? No, it's really good in certain situations, right? What yeah, there's nuance there. Like, what if that target has ult? What if you don't have ult? What if you're forcing a lot of resources and getting the kill? What if your spawn is closer and theirs is farther away? What if, it's a 5 ult fight and y'all got nothing? What is going on with this man's cat? What is Blood doing?
Love the replay viewer.
I love that so much. Okay, yeah, let's keep going here. Hot guy ripped playing Sombra. All right.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, I am a Sombra main, so it makes sense.
You
Comedy gold. All right, let's take a look here. I mean, so like there's like two different ways of looking at this. You could look at this and be like, oh, you should take the longer angle here. But then you could also say that like this feels like really exposed at this point, especially if you're not getting pocket or you're not like a hard hit scan. So this is like an angle that feels, you're gonna have to be very careful of this angle versus Reaper, Genji, Venture, fill in the blank, right? But I think this is like Sombra's, like Sojourn's kind of like that nuance, right? Like where you can do things like this if you're just quick with your slide. So I don't mind this angle.
cool.
As long as you don't get flanked by the Cass. Surprise. It's okay.
Spilo.
That guy was quiet. Yeah, this is all fine. Yeah, this is fine. Like in terms of space control, y'all have like a lot of angles right now. Obviously they can rotate out this way, but this is fine. This is too impatient. This is too impatient. This is looking at what you're seeing and saying, I don't see anything immediately right now, so therefore I need to leave. I mean, this is space. Like you're moving towards your team, which means that you have actually less sightline here, right? And it gives them more cover. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't remember if you were thinking what you're thinking right at this point. Maybe you can clarify. Do you remember?
I need to shoot something.
Yeah. Okay.
Uptime.
That's kind of what I figured, right? But ironically, compromising your uptime by losing the angle, it's okay. Like you know where this fight is going. Like they have to come out of that choke. You have a good vision. If you don't like what you're seeing here, the answer usually is to deepen. I probably wouldn't deepen here. I don't think it's necessary, but in a vacuum, you can do stuff like this. Just don't cross lanes and go to here. Yeah, it's like that Reaper thing. Like you said, uptime. So it's not just the bubble concept. It's a lot of uptime focus, which then means that you lose the angle on Doom, which then you also had a vision for rail multiple times and you missed it. And then obviously now we're compressed and now we've lost space a little bit because now
our map control is worse.
Yeah, our map control is worse. Doomfist has an angle on us. Doomfist uses that angle to compress onto your Kiriko, force her cooldowns. You might be able to get out here because of that compression. And now we've been isolated and like there are multiple times there we could have gotten picked. So just hold your lane, hold your angle and deepen or shallow as necessary, but don't compress.
Got it.
Like, I'm even questioning this rotation here. Like, as Kart's leaving, I think you have to slide. But I think I might do something like tickle, tickle, tickle here. And then drop and try to hold the space here. Or if you're going to rotate here, you need to get all the way up to here. Right? You cannot be stuck here, basically. Because you see, this is not safe. This is better. Yeah, this is fine. Good shot. Keep going. Yep. It's okay. See, this is the kind of angle that I wanted from you earlier, where you're diametrically split from your team, and if anything goes wrong, you're going to slide and run immediately. But this makes it so hard for like this Ashe to like just settle and pocket, because if you look at this, she's so scared, she's so concerned, and then that also means that the Mercy doesn't get the pocket and the Kiriko in time, and then she dies, right? Because there's a lot of fear for you, right? They're scared
I guess you're right.
This is just the value of a solo angle. Like you're very rarely going to be this isolated as Sojourn, but in this situation, I mean, it made sense, right? There's nobody here. Just take the angle that's given to you, right? Like that's the only reason that Kiriko dies.
I did not realize that.
No, sometimes you're just going to short angle and just burn tank. Sometimes you won't. Like this is This is fine. This is risky. You're going to need to leave quickly here. But you can do that here. And see, then we go back to a more conservative angle here. I like this angle too. This is good. I mean, look at the crossfire, right? Look at this. Sombra, Sojourn, Hazard, a little bit of Curie. This is perfect. They've had no space control this entire map. Unless you gave it away, that is. But you see, this is all about uptime, right? Like, you're losing uptime right now because they're hiding behind a wall. But they can't even peek without getting smoked, right? And then the Hog is going to try to take space, but you're going to be on that angle, able to shoot him as he takes space. Whoopsie daisy. We're good?
Yep.
Good. This is good. No. Hold it. Don't get hooked. Maybe play just outside of hook range. Listen attentively. Do not give up the space. This is not safe, as you see. This is not safe either, but at least there's upside for the reward. You see it?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to naturally move that way, but yeah, this is fine. In terms of perks, I think both work. I think this perk is fine.
Yeah, I like it's like confusing to see which one's better because like if
they're both good. Yeah, yeah. The way that I look at it is, it's like if you're able to consistently get the slow and certain chokes, it can be really good. Can be really good, but it's tough because this one really does push your ult into like A plus S tier depending on how the situation in terms of value. So it's like one of those rare ult perks that is just really, really good. So I don't think there's a bad choice. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Don't run. Do not run. Like, you have a little bit of Lucio or Kiri help here. Just keep shooting. I think you're a little bit too hesitant when your angle starts to get contested at a safe range for you. Doesn't matter. Fight him. You know? Like, you guys are down one, right? But they also have people in cart right now. They have 2 people in cart. You're fine. You're cool. Everything's fine. Just keep
I just
fighting.
want to stay out of that hook range.
Yes, you stay out of hook range and use cover. But honestly, you farm Hog. Like, you absolutely farm Hog.
Yeah.
So like this is okay. Honestly, this is okay. Like, actually, I was being a little bit more critical. You backing off to here is absolutely fine. But yeah, I want you to keep your eyes on them, right? Don't turn your back on them. This is good.
I love the criticalness. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Let it rip. Frankly, I would just rip ult there. I would rip ult. Here's why. I think this is really risky, but it's also very reward-y. So you can use this time as you're sliding, as you're unsheathing, essentially, right, for your ult, for your wind-up. And then that makes this less risky. You understand? Why?
Yeah, I understand.
Because she's dead. She's dead. It's over. There's nothing she can do, right? Now, I know you're like, oh, but investing in ult, like, what if I fail? Yeah, but... What if you don't pop ult and you lose, right? Like,
That's
you're gonna lose this fight here if you don't. Like, there's a much higher chance of not getting this kill here, right? So,
it's more expensive for us to lose the fight than it is to take it with ults.
Right. You're looking at this and you're like, I'm risk averse, even in a situation where it makes every sense to use your ult. So, because you look at this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die anyway. First off, but also, what if my Lucio didn't have to pop beat here? You know, like you were gonna lose this fight without beat, I think. You know,
yeah.
And so we had to use ults either way. So you wanted your Lucio to be the one blamed, not you. That's a bad mindset. If you see in a good situation to use your ult, use it. It's fine. I mean, burning Hog isn't always great, but it was fine. And just caught in a reload. That's not really much you can do about that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, if we want to take a little minor lesson here, how should you move in this situation? Right here. Look carefully.
I should. I don't know.
Okay, are you reloading? Are you doing any damage?
No.
So how should you move?
Straight.
Very erratically, right? Now, how would you move versus Sekiriko? Long strafe, short strafe, spamming, 80-80, variety? How does a character work? What's your time to kill?
Short strafe, 80-80.
Yeah, just spam. Basically, like you're playing versus the Cassidy. Just go crazy. You cannot get headshot by this character. Where is wrong with my scroll wheel? Okay, there you go. So if we look at how you moved, It wasn't terrible, but probably could have been a little bit more erratic, especially once you got distracted with the reload. Did you notice that? Could have been a little bit more erratic. Could have been a little bit better. A little sharpness to it. Something to keep in mind. But I don't think it was terrible.
Okay.
Keep going. Holy smokes, my scroll wheel. There we go. Alrighty. Angle's fine to start. It's fine. A little bit blind with the disruptor shot, but I think we're okay with this rotation. Good. It's scary, but everything is scary right now. There's no avoiding risk. So this is fine. Good try. It was fine. It was fine. I mean, you guys just haven't connected with ultimates, and you guys have been getting free fighted, but I think for the most part, your rotations have been okay. Yeah, you see it in your movement just a little bit there. Very erratic once you'd use your rail. That's good. Like, think about the matchup, right? You don't have rail. Why are you moving smoothly? You're not. You move erratically. That was good. Nice job. And then now, well, if he pushes you again with rail, then you're the one that's moving smoothly. You're the one with a quote-unquote one shot.
Yeah.
It's okay. This has been fine. Double slide, definitely the better perk in 90% of situations.
I feel like
you got
double slide, it like limits the high grounds I can take because of it. Like sometimes it's just having the angles a lot better.
It does. Yeah, it does. The big thing with double slide is, especially in like high level play with a lot of dive, it allows you to slide in or out, and then they use an ultimate, and then you can slide in or out again. So let's look at the situation. Like, let's say the Cassidy pushes you on the angle and you slide out, and the Symmetra pops teleport and then wall on you. Then you can slide again, right? So basically it allows you to deal with enemy ultimate layers and cooldown layers better, but it definitely compromises a little bit of that verticality, and obviously it does compromise a little bit of your rail uptime too, because the other perk isn't too bad. So I'd choose double slide about 90% of the time, but there are definitely certain maps and certain situations where I value that bit of extra charge. Good disruptor shot. Good deepening of the angle, and this is how you win one fights. Because if this Kiriko goes uncontested, disengaging your ult push here, could you lose this fight? Yes, because what would this Kiriko have done? She would have gone and killed you, and then probably either teleported to or held the high ground and pocketed her cast, or even teleported to her Roadhog and killed the help with the 2v2. Right? You said, not only do I want this angle, I'm going to take the time to do nothing for a second to improve my angle instead of just dropping the card here. But you also said, just in case, I want to fight whoever's here. This is very, very honest positioning for me. This is what you were missing with Reaper, and this is also what you were missing on first fight on this map. Make sense? Good job.
Cool.
Very, very good job.
I got lazy here. I felt in the moment.
It's the Reaper situation all over again. You have everything to lose here. He has nothing to lose. Just remember that. Don't take risks in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this. This is really good.
This ends now.
Could be a little early, but the idea is perfect. I would say just a little early in terms of I'm not sure that there's an engagement starting yet, and the deeper the angle, the later I want you to be. And by later, I mean seconds, like literally 1 second. So in hindsight here, I want you to tell me when you would like to take the ult pull. Where would you go? Let's say
right there, when tech engaged.
Yeah, right there, exactly. This, like right here, it's impossible for them to kite it out, because if they all run away, he's dead, 100%. There's literally no way for him to live. So what you do is you ult, you hit one body shot, everybody runs and screams, and then they just sacrifice their hog. No way to live. It's good.
Cool.
Yeah, this is good as well. You need to hit the shots, but the isolation's there. Yeah, it's just a little bit of distraction. Just a little bit of distraction. Just remember, whenever you're holding a lane, it's your job to hold the lane. But obviously, hog's low. I get it. So just a tad early and hit your shots forehead.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
Good angle. I don't mind this as long as we deepen. This is good. Uh-huh. Ooh, we're getting silly with it. Okay. It's cheeky, but if you feel like you're stuck in a choke, this is fine. Just remember you don't have your double slide, so you need to be very patient here. So be very ratty. Because your value here is not through hitting shots. It's through the threat of hitting shots, right? Because if you let them know that you're here, you can do just tickle, 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 don't die. Tickle, 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 don't die. You see it? Like that, you got a lot of chip damage. They all turned, and then there's the opportunity to pop off there. You're going to lose this fight because they're going to pop 1, 2, 3 ults here. But yeah, I mean, it's like you guys just haven't connected with your ultimates, that's all.
I barely missed the Yana, just an inch.
Disrupting.
Yep, disengage that. Hold that Ling though. Good. Just got surprised. There's your double slide value. Go back and peek again.
Let's take care of them.
Uh-huh. Deepen your lane, deepen your lane. If you're gonna clutch, it's not gonna be here. Where is it gonna be?
The outside angle.
The outside
Like
angle.
back.
You're gonna go here, and then you're gonna slide directly at that Kiriko and kill her and then die, right? Or you're gonna slide directly to point and go from here, right? If you're looking at the situation being like, somebody, we have to clutch this fight, I agree. Not from here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not from there. I'm actually surprised you slid out there. I think I might have just died for that.
This ends
Yep.
now.
Smooth. Don't stand still because you're 225, all right? But smooth.
Yeah.
Just remember that. You see what I'm saying? Just smooth. It's so important.
Smooth.
Smooth. Both with your aim and with your movement here. Both so that you increase your chances of hitting the shots. Okay. Any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Focusing on your constantly restaging, re-angling, especially with characters like Reaper, compress that DPS hero pool a little bit, and then utilize this to understand people's kits more, but I wouldn't necessarily replace your mechanics training with it, if that makes sense.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.